like nothing I lack. Feeling like a fatal heart attack. I'd die for that. I don't stress about it. I think less without it. I'ma cut out anything that's in my psyche. Feeling myself high key. Running back, let me have it back. I'ma cut out anything that's in my psyche. Feeling myself high key.
Yes, like that, like that, like that. Told her might be right back, right back, right back. Oh yes, like that, like that, like that. I told her might be right back, right back, right back.
Run it back. Told him put the money in the bag. Double that. Run it back. Told him put the money in the bag. Double that. Double that.
Run it back, run it back.
Run it back. Run it back. Run it back. Run it back.
Run it back, 100 stack. In the trunk with his fire tag. Punch the gas, run into the...
It's week 13 of the National Football League, and this one features Josh Jacobs, who's one of the best in the league at running the ball.
The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in week 13. And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They'll be led out by a Heisman runner-up during his college days. It's the versatile Jalen Hurts.
You talk about the pause that refreshes. I think it's come at a perfect time of the year for them, hasn't it? You know, it's the season is starting to wind down, got a little bit of a break. But how about the guy calling the signals? He's got to be excited about that because now he didn't just get a game plan for 1 week. He's able to work on it for 2 weeks. I can't waste it, baby.
And touchdown, Seattle. Josh Jacobs, his 7th rushing touchdown of the year. And the Seahawks will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And it's now a 7-0 game. So after the touchdown, Martin now on to kick this one away. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And at quarterback from the University of Oregon, it's Justin Herbert.
And the tendency for most of these guys is to want to match things right away because they have a lot of confidence in their talent too. They just saw a big strike against their team, and you know they're thinking to themselves, I can get this back right now on one play. Well, if it's there, you take it, but otherwise, just go ahead and calm your team down. Run the offense, get things going, and see how things settle in.
And pretty good pursuit there defensively. He's brought down, no gain on the play, second down coming up. Well, this defense for the Seahawks very strong in that victory a week ago.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, you know, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, you know, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Giving back-to-back catches now. That one for 16 and another first down. A shotgun handoff to Henry. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. The Vikings at 10-1 now on the year. And Charles, they were losers last time out. What do you think they need to do differently here?
Well, I don't think it needs to be as drastic as burning up last week's game tape or not watching it, but The attitude has to be what's done is done. Let's move on. Put that one behind them, galvanize themselves, and go forward and get a win in this one.
Well, that's not just his first, not his second, already his third completion here on the opening drive. And I think it's safe to say that getting him the ball in this game, one of their top priorities.
And a top priority for the defense has got to be finding ways to cover him. And I don't think you can have one basic coverage to get it done. You have to throw a number of coverages at him, make him think as he's running downfield, and hope you can create a little bit of havoc. Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Too long for a field goal, too short to punt that in-between range, and they'll go for it on 4th down. They snap it to Herbert. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. The conversion is successful with a sizable gain of 13, and the decision to go for it looks like a smart one. So the drive stays alive after the 4th down conversion. 1st and 10 inside the 30. Running from the gun with Henry. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
On 2nd down, here's Herbert. Got a man, that's Lazard. Touchdown, Vikings. Alan Lazard, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings respond to that opening drive touchdown with one of their own. Tucker with the extra point, and we are tied at 7. That time a 9-play drive, and it's polished off by a Viking score. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. Here comes the offense again, and let's focus on Josh Jacobs for a moment. So officially now a 1,000-yard campaign for him, but I don't think he's going to take his foot off the gas pedal.
Yeah, it's one of those thoughts, though, that creeps into your mind because there is a little mini celebration over on the sidelines. Everybody, hey, job well done, over 1,000 already. But guaranteed, as you noted, someone's jumped in that huddle and said, a lot more to be done, guys. Let's not, as you would just say, take your foot off the pedal. Let's not do that right now. But there is that possibility as people can get self-satisfied. The greats do not. We'll find out what he's made of. No receivers open, so who's forced to put that one into Puget Sound? That's a great job defensively blanketing those receivers. And ultimately, a smart idea by him just to get the ball out of there.
From the gun, it's Hurts. They swing that out wide to Jacobs. And he will finally be escorted out of bounds down inside the 45. It's a big play there for Seattle. 43 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They go play action with Hurts. Rush coming, and he's taken down. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's 2nd down.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Hurts. And an off-balance throw there, and it's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20. That was no 3rd and 2. That was 3rd and 16, but they get the conversion anyway.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test him early. But they proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
2nd and 10. Throwing is Hurts. Open man right side is Rice. And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done. Down to the 15 from the 21. 7-7, our score after 1. This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. And he's wrapped up. Taken down. Back at the 25. Samson Abukum in there to get him. And on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Jason Sanders on for the field goal. A 42-yard attempt.
Sanders' kick is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
The Vikings taking the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. Their dreams of an undefeated season shattered with the loss a week ago. Now, look, whenever an undefeated team goes down, you always hear some say, well, they needed that. I don't know, Charles. Is that a narrative that you buy into?
Well, I haven't met a coach yet that feels like they needed that loss. You know, that's not something that they're in favor of. But I do know this. People like us, our colleagues, all of us in the media, constantly hammering a team that's undefeated. Hey, do you think you can do it the whole season? Can you carry it the whole way? That does wear down a group, and sometimes that loss, get us off your back, you can move forward from there.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Tight end has become a bigger and bigger part of the passing game in the NFL. But if you drop the football, that position can get swapped out with a wide receiver in that spot, a running back in that spot. There are other ways they can go if you're not going to catch the ball.
And that's not just his first drop, his 2nd drop of the game. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. It'll go as a gain of 25 on a play that started back at the 25.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
A run there on 1st down and a pretty good one of 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
Here's Herbert now on 2nd down. On the move past the 40. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 63 yards receiving for him now, and that last catch good enough for a 1st down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
And a strong run there as he'll maneuver his way down inside the 15. There's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Again, it's Henry. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Back to throw here, Herbert. And a loose football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
You can admire his willingness to sacrifice his body to try and pick up the first down, and I do. But let's face it, you know his coaches are going to warn him about diving or extending for a marker for this exact reason. So much easier to have the ball notch free when you're extending.
There he goes, left side. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. Give him 32 yards as we inch our way to the 2-minute warning.
That's one way to get yourself out of a hole. They're backed up deep. And while this looked like a simple completion at first, he was able to create some space, and off he goes. Separation not just in the route, but after the catch, too.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Here's Hurts to throw. That's going to be caught. It's Jacoby Myers. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 39-yard line.
Hurts. Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Avonte Maddox, and they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. He has just been a load for opposing offenses to account for now. 8 interceptions on the year.
I love that number because I always think of center field. You know, when I hear 8, because that's the position you write in the scorecard in baseball. And what do good center fielders do? Take away all the alleys, right? They range deep and make a whole lot of great catches.
They keep it with Henry on 1st down. And he is going to lose yardage here. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Herbert. A little short pass. This is Everett. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
He will push his way down to about the 14. Tackle made by Tyree Wilson.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they've bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now. This will be caught just inside the 10. Touchdown! Gerald Everett, his first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead is now 14-10. 5 plays there on that drive, and it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. And the Seahawks offense going to get one final possession in this first half. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation, either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point. Halftime over, no problem with us. We skip right to the third quarter and continue this midseason contest. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. This offense set to begin the third quarter, and Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they got that here.
That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty box, establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one, so now they want to make sure that they get that going so they truly have a control in this ball game, and down the stretch, being able to be balanced, either throw it or run it, and try and win this ball game.
Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and this will wind up being a 3rd and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Herbert on 3rd down now. That is caught. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. These two have hooked up 9 times now this afternoon as they pick up the first.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Brandon, you're a big lover of music. How about what you just saw there? This is what I call playing the piano for a defensive lineman. The ability to move laterally up and down the line of scrimmage. How about the way he just flowed and got to the outside part of the field and made that play?
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
That's a good piece of quarterbacking right there because he certainly felt the pressure coming. The alternative, getting sacked for the first time. He didn't like that option at all. Did a nice job saving yardage by throwing that one away.
A little short pass. This is Everett, and he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. And this defense not ready for that one as he'll take this down inside the 25. 50 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times. A first down carry for Henry. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. 3rd quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. They'll run it again with Henry. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. 18 yards that time to push him up 1st and goal.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. They'll try to run for it with Henry. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Derrick Henry. A 6-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Tucker with the extra point, and that makes it a 21-10 game.
Justin Tucker set to kick off.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the 2nd half. They make their 2nd half debut here, and things are looking a little bit tougher now. You give up the points there, Charles, that touchdown drive on the other side. So now it's a 2-score game here. Got to be careful.
They certainly do, and I'm just wondering at halftime if those guys just looked into each other's eyes and realized what they've got to get done and come out a little bit more charged up, because if they don't get some kind of points here, that next drive, that can make this a 3-possession game.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone...
And Hurts is going to be hit and taken down to the ground. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down. Hurts sets up to throw it. And that is incomplete. The passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
This is fielded at the 27. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. And we spotlight Derrick Henry now. So a 6-carry drive the last go-around, touchdown on the end of it. We'll see if they can duplicate that here.
I think that they would like to. I know every runner that we've ever met would love to carry the ball more and more and more. In fact, we keep a ball in the booth just for demonstration purposes.
You're holding it right now.
I'm going to give it to you. Is it heavy? Is it that heavy?
No, it's pretty light.
It's pretty light, right? So keep giving it to him and let him do his work. It's not going to slow him down.
If it's light for me, it's definitely light for him. Line of scrimmage, the 24. This is 2nd and 6. Henry will get it. He's been busy today. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run. 3rd and 2, Herbert. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have a Vikings 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
A gain of 13 yards. And the Vikings 1st down. That's the end of the 3rd.
Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Vikings in possession of the football and the lead. They'll be looking to add to that total as we begin quarter number 4. Inside handoff, Henry. Down the left sideline and down to the 7-yard line. 124 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
A 20th carry now for Derrick Henry. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Derrick Henry with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Vikings look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead is up to 18 now.
28, Seahawks 10. Justin Tucker set to kick off.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This fielded right at the goal line. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Seattle now ready to march onto the field. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. They'll throw on 1st down with Hurts. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
And 17 at the 11-yard line.
Another try after the 1st down sack. Hurts under pressure, and they got to him again. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd. Running straight ahead is Jacobs, and he gets it up to the 10-yard line here. Call it a gain of 5, 4th down now.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments, and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Derrick Henry trots back out there and gets ready to go. So he'll be looking to get in the end zone again. Had the touchdown, as you see, last drive on 4 carries. And during the break, we were looking at some of the replays from the previous drive. Really good holes created, great space.
Yeah, I like the observation you had, though, during that break about, okay, they've got to do something to slow down their runners. So is it bringing in more defensive linemen? Is it dropping in extra linebackers? What are you going to do? Personally, I'm going to take my safety and drop him into the box. I'm going to have at least 7 in there until he shows that he can beat me through the air. Yeah. I've got to slow down the running game.
I was just going to say, you'll take the exposure in the passing game over the top until you can prove that you can stop the running game.
Sometimes you go cold because you haven't thrown it in a while. Let's see if he can heat up again.
Henry again on 2nd down. And he'll get about 2 there to the 36.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
He's got his target. That's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. Well, I'm sure he likes this performance a little bit better than last week. He had the 3 interceptions here, none in the 4th quarter, and he's got his guys in front.
Guaranteed he put in a tremendous amount of work this week, but maybe the matchup is just better for him. Sometimes it just doesn't work out. It's almost like those golfers. Certain courses fit their eye, and they like what they see, and other courses, as soon as they tee it up, they know they have no shot. Maybe that's the difference for him. Last week, no. This week, a big yes.
So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. Henry up the middle. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
Second down, they go again with Henry. 136 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is 3rd down. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. A little short pass. This is Everett. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Another good completion on the drive as the Vikings have a first down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half, the adjustment. Whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever.